Currently, the veto competition is underway. Meanwhile, I want to highlight a few things that occurred before the veto got going. We had some Mickey, Will, and Ashley strategizing together. Yes, the Negroes are strategizing. And we have Amy sort of blaming Rachel for being a target. And then we have Rachel suggesting that she could possibly influence whoever comes in to compete for KEANU. Because as we know, a returning house guest is set to return to help KEANU win the veto. And then we have KEANU kind of calling production out, saying that if he stays and wins HOH, that he says sorry to production, but I'm evicting your unicorn. So you already know right then and there, the odds are against KEANU winning the veto himself or the person that they're bringing back. So first, let me just start off with this little talk between Mickey, Will, and Ashley. Basically they're strategizing, and it's mainly Ashley trying to disconnect Mickey from Morgan, throwing her under the bus. Obviously, Ashley knows about Mickey's power and knows that Mickey told Morgan, so she should realize this is a failed attempt. Meanwhile, Will, he's still smart enough to realize that even if they get KEANU out and Kelly, that they are sort of on the bottom of the totem pole of the other side of the house, the mean girl side, which, funny enough, Amy said that about Jimmy to Rachel. Meanwhile, she's teamed up with the chick that's known for being a mean girl and why people didn't like her in season 12. But yeah, out of this trio, it does seem like Will and Ashley actually might be more aligned, but I feel like Will, he seems to be good with Ashley and Mickey. Whereas it seems like, if anything, Mickey and Ashley are probably not as tight. So again, we'll see ultimately how that works out. Now, over to Amy. The reason why she's upset is because she's learned that she could possibly be a replacement nom if someone comes down, which right now you would think the likelihood of that would be high, but again, it's depending on what production wants, because so far, all these competitions that they've had have been comps that you really can't even tell who actually won. I mean, it'll be interesting to see on the TV episode what this comp was that Jimmy won, but I'm assuming it's just going to be another BS comp that they've been throwing in there so far, where again, either everybody hasn't been allowed to compete, or you really can't tell who won it based on the type of comp that they injected in the game. But yeah, when Amy talked about, being a target, partly due to her association with Rachel tried to give one of those, cries with no tears, per usual. And again, they used that as an opportunity, mainly from Amy's side, to talk crap about Jimmy. Rachel sort of resisted because she knows that, Jimmy is willing to at least get her into jury, with that magical switch that he made. And speaking of magical switches, Rachel, now at first she was going around suggesting that maybe Brendan is returning to compete, which of course, obviously she could get him to throw it. But then she started to list other people who she could probably talk to get them to throw the comp. She brought up Taylor. Jimmy brought up Frankie, who, again, he thought he could get Frankie to throw it to him or throw the comp entirely because, their archetypes have to look out for each other. Now, again, he only gets away with saying that because he's talking about somebody else gay. But if he was saying that based on them both being so-called white, then, it's a different tune and people would be asking for him to get expelled. But again, It's okay to align based on race if you're black or POC, based on gender, as long as you're female, and, apparently based on sexuality as well. Which, in 25, they tried that with the HISUM and Blue Alliance, because, Blue is, bi or whatever. I mean, I think it's safe to say every liberal chick is bi. But yeah, Rachel says she doesn't know she could get Tucker to throw it. Jimmy suggested Nicole, but, her and Nicole had beef. So she doesn't think she could get them to do it. But basically, Rachel is saying, production, send someone in here who will give me what I want and throw the competition. And you know what? I believe that's exactly what they're going to do. I see Kelly or KEANU not winning the veto. It'll be someone outside of them. And it'll just be another week where, basically Rachel gets what she wants. And right now, the ratings, as of yet, hasn't punished them for that. So I don't see why they wouldn't. And the fact that they know that if KEANU is able to stay and wins HOH, then he's going to nominate Rachel, Morgan, and Jimmy, with his target being Rachel, the production unicorn. So that right there alone sort of kind of locks up KEANU as the next target. And again, it's another guy too. Now, would I like to be proven wrong? Yeah, but I won't be. And apparently we also found out during Rachel and Amy's conversation that, of course, Rachel knew that Amy was the accomplice. It's pathetic, man, but that's what they want for this show. The people who run this show project their desires for what they would want in real life onto this show, which is endless advantages for people that they're biased in favor of, and always having an outcome or winner that fits some sort of diversity quota. These people could give two craps about whether they kill off another show or another franchise. So if we ever want any sort of old school Big Brother, it's going to have to be done independently. Maybe one of these popular live streamers who realize, hey, I need some content. Maybe I should do like a Big Brother style game. I mean, that'll be the only way. Like kind of what they attempted to do with this fish tank thing. But anyway, we'll see the veto results soon enough.